Summer, can you please tell me what do you see in the picture?
I can see elef- elephant, an elephant,
Mm-hmm.
and monkeys, dog,
Mm-hmm.
a dog. Two
Mm-hmm.
girls are talking to the phone. A man is taking photos of an elephant, and an old woman and old man sitting
Mm-hmm.
on a.
Okay. What else? How about this one? What is this lady doing right here?
She pushing a baby.
Okay, she is pushing the stroller of the baby.
Well,
Okay. So have you been or somewhere? Where do you think is this place?
it's the zoo.
Okay. Have you been to a zoo?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's move on to the next part. Can you please read each word?
Okay. Kick, tag, skip, bounce, drop.
Mhm.
Plain, lake, canyon, cliff, and stream.
Okay. So for these action words right here, or these are like games, right? This is what we usually play. So Summer, what among these games have you played?
Um, uh, skip and tap.
Okay. Skip and tag. Now, how about for this part right here? Which among these places is your favorite?
I think I like the plane
You like the plane. Okay. Why do you like the plane?
because I can play there.
Mhm.
It's
Yes, you're right.
big,
Okay. And you can just run along on this plane.
right?
Okay. Now let's move on to this part. So now I want you to identify for each category. I'd want you to identify each one of them or where do they fall. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. For the first one, kick. Where do you think does it belong?
It's belong to the verb.
Okay, it belongs to the verb. How about the next one, tag?
The tag is a verb. Skip,
Mhm.
bounce, and drop are verbs too.
Okay. How about the next one?
The plane, it's the kind of land.
Hmm. Next one.
The lake is a kind of water.
Okay, great.
The canyon is a kind of land.
Hmm.
Cliff is a kind of land. And the stream is the kind of water.
Okay, great. So now let's move on to the next part. Fill in the blanks. Okay. So for this part, I want your choices are in the box. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So please read and answer.
Yeah. At break time, I usually play with my friends Bess and Alex. Alex isn't at school today, so I'm with Bess. We are having fun today. At lunchtime, I always have a sandwich and an apple. But there weren't any apples, so today I'm having a banana. Alex usually has salad and biscuit. Sometimes she shares her biscuit with us. She's a kind girl.
Okay, great. So do you have any questions for this part?
Yes.
No questions?
Uh, I understand all, but why Alex is sick, but they also talk about Alex?
Oh, okay. It is like for this one right here, they are talking, so maybe they miss Alex, so they're talking about her. They are describing her.
Okay.
Okay. So next one. How about you, Summer? How many friends do you have?
I have three.
Three friends. Okay, just like
Three,
Beth
but
and Alex.
yeah.
Yes,
Um,
go on.
it, I will introduce their name.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
Um, my best friend is Phúc An.
Mm-hmm.
Her English name is Caroline.
Okay. easier for me.
Okay.
And
And the two one they have also have an English name, but it's not my best friend. It's just my friend.
oh, okay. But Carolee, she's your friend, best friend.
Yes.
Okay. And does she lives near your place or a bit far
I'm,
from you?
I'm living in a building, and she's at the same building with me.
Oh, okay. So that's why you're best friends because you're so near to each other.
Yeah, but now it's COVID.
Oh, yes. That's right. So, anyway, moving on to the next part. So, for this part, we will be reading a short story. Okay. So, kindly please read the title.
My first day at school. My name's Betty Seward, and I'm an English teacher. I was 22 years old when I got my first teaching job. I remember my first day very well. The day didn't start well. I got up early and got dressed. Then I dropped my cereal all over my new skirt. I quickly put on clean clothes. I picked up my bag and went to the bus stop. I saw a lot of people waiting for the bus. I asked a woman, "Why are there so many people?" She said, she said, "There's a lot of traffic in the city center and all the buses are late." So I decided to walk to school.
Mhm.
I only had a half an hour before my first lesson. I walked very quickly. After some time, I could see the school at the end of the road. I felt very happy. Suddenly, it started to rain. I ran fast, but when I arrived at school, I, I was very wet when I arrived at school. When I got to my classroom, there was 5 minutes late and I looked wet and horrible. At first, my new students looked in surprise when they saw me. They then they all smiled and said, "Good morning, Miss Stewart." I smiled back and said, "Good morning, class." After that, the day got much better.
Okay. So before we move on to the next part, actually, Summer, you did or you read really well. Your pronunciation is really great. I just have some just little correction. Okay. So I noticed that the past tense of the verbs, let's say, for example, dressed, you
Dressed.
don't, yeah, okay. Please emphasize the letter t, the T sound at the last part. Okay. Dressed, picked.
Dressed.
Okay. So that's only my correction so far. So now let's move on to the next part. Okay.
Betty couldn't wear her new skirt to school because it has cereal on it.
Okay, it had cereal on it. How about number two?
There were two, there were so much people waiting for the bus.
Okay. Number three.
There was a lot of traffic in the city center, so all the buses are late.
Okay.
Betty was wet. No, Betty was wet when no, happy when
Okay.
would see the school.
Okay.
Before Betty arrived at school, it started to rain. Is it?
Okay. Can you say it again? Before
Before Betty arrived at school, it's
it has.
it has started to rain.
Okay. How about number six?
When the students first saw their new teacher, they smiled and
And how about good morning, Miss Stewart? What do you call that one? They.
uh, say hi to her.
Okay. They greeted. They greeted her. Okay. How about number seven?
Uh, Everyone in the class looked at Mr. Ward and said, "Good morning."
Okay, great. So now, okay, we are already at the last part of our topic. And If I may ask you, Summer, what have you learned from this or from today's lesson?
I learned the kind of plants and water and
Mm-hmm.
verbs too.
Okay, that's great. So, okay. So far, Summer, I would like to give my feedback. You speak really good in English, that's for sure. Your pronunciation, your intonation, you sound like